Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
Everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Avatar Rewatch, where we find out just how bitter is work.
Okay.
So Jared, what did you think about this episode? This is kind of more of like a lore building episode. Like it really delves deep into kind of like the mythology of like philosophy of earthbending and also like different characters and whatnot. Like it doesn't really move the plot forward, but it definitely builds the world. What were your thoughts on the episode?
Well, it basically turned Toph into Batman because she went to the "I'm going to put you in grave mortal danger until you part of your training."
Are you telling me that I have to title this episode "Is Toph Batman"?
I'm telling you, you have to do that.
God darn it! God.
Dude, you can't tell me you didn't get Batman vibes from that.
Yeah, especially where she just appeared out of a puff of smoke,
and where she just threw big boulders at Aang and said, "Okay, stop that."
So, what did you think about like the mentality of bending, like the fact that we're now getting into like opposing elements and just like you have to have a certain mindset when you're bending? Like, what did you think about that?
That makes sense because if you notice for one thing with the mindset thing, a lot of these different nations, if you will, have vastly different like personalities and attitudes, which correlates to the element that they're bending. So that this just solidifies that for me.
Yeah, like I definitely would agree that like the bending philosophies do kind of seep into the culture, even among non-benders. You know, because like it's like everyone is kind of a certain way, so it's like that does make sense. And what did you think of like like the B plot is you have like Zuko and Iroh, they're kind of talking and like we're getting into like what did you think about like the calling lightning the cold fire?
Well, that's cool because first off, I'm like, oh, I guess you can't technically if you're bending fire, you can bend lightning because they're kind of the same thing. So I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and like when Iroh was kind of breaking down the nations, the elements, what do you kind of think about that?
I dug that because again, it's in a nutshell. Here's what these different elements and nations do.
Yeah, like I really like this episode because we do kind of get to see a different side of Toph, really. Because you're kind of still getting to know her a little bit, and
I still like her. They basically turned her into Batman, so I'm starting to like her even more. You can call her Toph.
I mean, how much did I hype this up to you about how awesome Toph is?
Yep, she is Toph.
No.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Keep your ears up, Twinkle Toes! Like the comedic timing of this episode was just on point.
It was.
And then we got a literal Linkin Park music video at the end with like Zuko just like screaming at the lightning. Like, oh my god, there's got to be an episode where it's like,
yeah, exactly. I was
like, if I go any further, I'll get a copyright strike. But yeah.
I was like, I was expecting Linkin Park to start playing in the background, honestly.
Yeah, like, by the way, I just want to like a quick tangent. I love like, you remember that whole like trend of like something, but it's 2007, where they basically put like what I've done, make it look like Transformers ending. I actually did one myself for Man of Steel. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to check that out.
All right, well, I'll link it to you after we're done here. So
wait,
but yeah, overall, I think this is a really, really good episode. What are some of your favorite moments from this?
Well, any part of the training, because again, I just like Aang going like, isn't this a little extreme? No. It also reminded me of the very first crossover between Arrow and Flash when Barry goes to Oliver and goes, "Hey, can you help me learn how to be a better superhero?" Okay, shoots him with arrow.
I really like that they paid that off in the Elseworlds crossover where like Barry did it to Oliver, and it just
Or like there was another one when he offers to train someone. I think it was in the Dominators one where they basically have the Justice League, and he goes to Supergirl. Is like, "Don't let him train you. He will shoot you with an arrow."
it's like, I wonder if he has any kryptonite arrows.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Well, I don't think there was any Kryptonians on his Earth at that point, but that's we're getting way off track here.
He does now.
But yeah, that kind of raises a question: could an Earthbender bend a kryptonite?
Well, it's a crystal, so probably.
Imagine Toph wielding kryptonite.
Oh boy.
Oh dear God.
When you think about it, bending is kind of magical, so Superman would be vulnerable, as would anyone.
So I think what I'm saying is Toph could beat Superman. This is everyone right now. This is everyone right now.
Could she?
Now, if she had kryptonite, she could.
The problem with that is that Superman could just hover above the ground and she wouldn't be able to see him.
Oh, look, Toph, Superman's right there.
No, if it's one-on-one, she doesn't have anyone else to spot for her.
But the thing is, she also listens. So, like, she could hear, like, the air whooshing around.
No, but Superman is capable of moving very quiet. You're not winning this, Nick.
I'm just going. If she literally has kryptonite on her, it's going to be really hard for Superman to get close to her.
Nick, I love you, brother, but there's no way you're winning this because I've seen Superman do stuff that counters everything that takes advantage of Toph. Because remember how long it took her to know where Aang is? Because he was. But
there is one thing that Superman has never defeated: Batman's plot armor.
No, but she wouldn't have plot armor in this scenario, dude.
No, but I'm saying there's one thing that Superman has never been able to defeat.
Well, Superman's never defeated Batman in general, so...
No, Batman's plot armor is so good that he can just beat...
Now, the thing is, Batman versus Toph. I say Batman, because Batman has a contingency plan for literally anything.
I don't know. Like, Earthbending's so tricky, and, like, Batman's a ground-based superhero. Like, because like we see moves where like they kind of swirl them into the ground. Like
he would have an anti-rock suit. By the way, I love where Sokka was stuck in the ground.
yes, that's a good segue. Oh, what did you think of like the little creature?
Yeah, and then when the mother shows up, I'm like, at this point, Nick, nothing surprises me with the amount of monsters we have in the show.
A fanged moose lion.
Actually, I think they said saber-tooth moose lion.
You made it even worse.
I know. I'm like, this is going into the amalgam Doctor Strange fate territory.
Just wait till you see turtle ducks. You'll be like, I want one. They are so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love the hybrid animals. It adds a really nice flavor to this universe.
It does, yeah.
But yeah, and then like towards the end, we kind of had like the stereotypical like hero being forced to do the thing they've been trained to do all day. Like initial thoughts while watching this episode was like, we need a montage.
Yeah. Like it's like there was this movie that Tyler and I have watched called Range 15, and what they do, literally in the movie, they go, "Who wants a sweet gear up montage?"
I was talking about like Team America World Police, but that works too.
America, bleep,
yeah. You were like, please don't curse, thank you.
It's your channel, it doesn't matter to me.
Well, come on, you told me I need to stop cursing, so I've just
but it wouldn't affect my brand. It wouldn't affect my brand.
Well, fine, I'll curse. Poppycock.
Okay. I don't think
that's a joke. I cursed, but I didn't curse.
I don't think that really counts. So
It doesn't, but I was trying to make a funny and I failed.
that is a horrible attempt at a funny. That is a horrible attempt.
That is an L.
That is such an unfunny.
That is such an L. It's almost like I got stuck in a hole for the whole episode.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say the writers really hold up Sokka for this episode.
Yeah, and when he has the little creature on its head, and I'm like, I love that. And I love where she's like, we have to be careful to get him out. She proceeds to like stamp on the ground, just drag him out.
Yeah, like one of my favorite moments is in the beginning where like she launches him in the air. He's like, like he's just so angry. He just like loses his ability to speak.
Yeah, I love that. I love when they do that in cartoons.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it. So what would you give this episode? Like out of 10?
Solid 9 out of 10. Because any episode where they turn a character into Batman gets an automatic 1 point boost.
Yeah, this one is an 8.5 for me. Like it's a good episode, but like with Avatar, you kind of got to grade things on a curve because Avatar is such a good show. Like,
but come on, Toph, come on. Oh wait, so technically that would also make her Toph the Leaper.
This is one of those moments where I wish we were actually recording this on my StreamYard because
Oh, you mean so you could do that?
Why?
Because I can. I have the power, dude. I need
what
that.
Have I done?
Bruce. I need that.
What have I done?
I need that clip of Bruce Almighty when he goes, "I've got the power."
It's a good movie, by the way.
Yes, it is.
So, all right. So next up, we have the library, which that's a very key episode. You might actually have some feels for that one because like some stuff happens that like that's gonna like make you kind of sad and whatnot.
Oh boy, I love it in episodes when stuff happens.
My God, I hate
that's my favorite type of things to happen. So Jared, what happens in this episode? Stuff.
Guys, I like audience, like people listening to this. I have an actual question for you. Why do I put up with him? Why do I continue to make content with this man? I have no freaking clue. Like,
no comment. You know I can remove you. You know I can remove you from this again. You do realize that, right? Okay, so I guess it's my show now. Nick has been completely banned from the Phoenix Press.
You can't ban the banner.
Well, remember, you're relying on me to provide this recording. So you really want to play this game, Nick? You really want to play this game? Because I could always say, oh no, it got corrupted. I can't send you the recording.
What about?
Okay, so once again, he's gone. He's gone.
You know, if you really wanted to be a butthole, you could like edit this before you send it to me, where it's like every time I say Wonder Bat, you superimpose like Super Wonder like very badly over it.
Or well, here's what that whole scenario reminded me of.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
How fudging dare you?
Hey, you gave me control, so...
And I'm regretting it so much right now.
Hey, you tempted the bull.
No comment.
That is some bull, but
I will say this about the next episode. You will be making Screecher jokes.
Oh, so you mean it'll be screeching time?
Possibly. Let's just say there's a character in there that you will be making a lot of Screecher jokes about, and in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes.
Oh, boy.
Might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fact, the thumbnail of the episode might be Screecher jokes. And in fa I just put Screecher's face over its body.
And you have to do this, and the title has to be Avatar is the Blueprint.
Avatar: The Last Screecher Bender.
The Last Screech Bender. So anyway, I love this.
No, this is the last episode I'm doing with Jared ever.
Oh, sweet. There's less stuff I gotta record.
So anyway, thank you guys for joining us, and we look forward to next week. And sorry about the stream the stream getting pushed a week. Some stuff happened behind the scenes. We got it resolved. It's all good. But we'll be returning full strong. We're reviewing Spider-Man. Sammy and Jared are going to bring their sass. They are going to drive me friggin' insane, and we're going to enjoy every moment.
Make lots of Spider-Man like puns. It's gonna...
Bye, everyone.